13 couples from the Christian family movement Futru Dinari have been drilled on trauma healing during a one-day seminar organized by psycho-clinical technicians of the Diocese of Bamenda. Still coming up tonight, Biaka University receives newly appointed Nigerian Consul General for the two English-speaking regions of Cameroon today. Ambassador Obasanjo Kuka commends the institution's standards after a tour of its world-class medical laboratories. These are just our top stories. Details and more right ahead. Stay tuned. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us this Thursday, June 26, 2025 for another edition of Divine Mercy Prime. I am Sama Eileen for a presentation. We begin the news in Bamenda, where the caravan of the psycho-clinical technicians of the counseling service of Bamenda Archdiocese organized a one-day seminar with 13 couples of the Christian family movement of Futru Dinari on healing taking part. It held on Wednesday, 25 June 2025 at St. Michael Parish, Futru in the Northwestern region in continuation of the crusade on mental health awareness. Details with Magdalene Wundo.
As a means of addressing the spiritual and emotional well-being of Christians, the Church is on a mission to ensure that families and others receive necessary training on mental health awareness. In order to achieve this goal, the counseling team had a one-day seminar with 13 couples of the Christian family movement of Futru Dinari. The couples were drilled on the necessity of clinical counseling in a time where many, though traumatized, tend to seek help instead from spiritual leaders rather than seeking help from clinical therapists.
Creating awareness to them about mental health disorders such as trauma, anxiety, stress, depression. We also talked about spiritual growth and emotional well-being and how this can be promoted in their families.
Some couples present at this one-day seminar share their experience.
In fact, we thought that handling stress and trauma was something very easy, but from the seminar we've learned a lot on how to handle stress and trauma, especially in the family setting. We have learned a lot, and going out from here, we are very versed with the steps to handle trauma, and we believe and trust that we are going to use what we have learned here to help a lot of people in our parish, in our community and society.
The Counseling Office of the Archdiocese of Bamenda, coordinated by Father Peter Fonleng, organized this seminar as a continuation of the crusade for mental health awareness and stressed on the fact that the Church needs to take care of the entire person.
This diagram shows us the whole human being. He has physical needs, he has spiritual needs, and he has psycho-emotional needs. When all of these are taking place, there is something in the middle that we call the soul. The soul is the life-giving principle. If I forget, so we don't begin our English. Because I just presume that all of us are English. So, when they say soul is the thing where we give life.
The couples were also drilled on counseling skills, trauma awareness and trauma management, developing a trauma-sensitive approach to family life, spiritual growth and emotional well-being, self-awareness and self-esteem. It was an opportunity for these couples to express their concerns and work in groups, thus presenting their findings.
The way is stress today, one, we get insecurity, we get health. We get family problems, we get marital problems, we get hunger, we get poverty, we get transportation, and we get a political crisis. And when you go through, you see how to overcome maybe all what we don't bring out.
As these couples return to their respective homes, they are expected to apply the knowledge and skill gained from this seminar, striving for trauma-free families.
Over to the Vatican, where Pope Leo has celebrated the Jubilee Year of Hope with over 4,000 seminarians and formators drawn from all over the world. Meeting at St. Peter's Basilica on June 24, 2025, the Supreme Pontiff exalted them with a meditation on the Sacred Heart of Jesus and priestly life. Let's get details in this report done by Bernard Asongne.
Just as how pilgrims from across the world make several journeys to Rome for the celebration of the Jubilee Year of Hope in different capacities, over 4,000 seminarians and formators all over the world have been welcomed by Pope Leo XIV in Rome within the walls of St. Peter's Basilica for the celebration of the Jubilee of Seminarians.
Good morning to all of you. I'm very happy to meet you, and I thank all of you, seminarians and formators, for your enthusiastic presence. Thank you first of all for your joy and enthusiasm.
Amidst the joy that accompanied the seminarians and their formators who are on this journey of faith, the Holy Father reminded them of the fact that they are not only pilgrims but witnesses of hope who fuel the flame of hope in the life of the Church.
Today, you're not only pilgrims, but also witnesses of hope. You bear witness to me and to everyone, because you have allowed yourselves to be drawn into the fascinating adventure of the priestly vocation in a time that is not easy.
With full confidence and trust in the words that the priesthood is the love of the heart of Jesus, the pontiff emphasized to the seminarians the importance of formation, which is centered on the heart of learning to love as Jesus loved, which must be done through the development of interior life.
In questo tempo che state vivendo, cioè il tempo della formazione,
precisely in this time you are living, that is the time of formation and discernment, it's important to focus your attention on the center, on the engine of your entire journey, the heart. The seminary, in whatever form it is conceived, should be a school of affections. We need to learn to love, and to do so as Jesus did. Just as Christ loved with the heart of man, you are called to love with the heart of Christ.
Mindful about the call of being passionate about the priestly life, the Pope invited the seminarians to be meek and humble of heart as Jesus was, and like Paul, to adopt the sentiments of Christ in order to grow in human maturity. Pouring on them his apostolic blessings, which shall accompany them through their period of searching and discernment in the seminary, the Pope greeted some seminarians with great hope for the Church of tomorrow.
Now, newly appointed Nigerian Consul General for the Northwest and Southwest regions, Ambassador Obasanjo Kuka, paid a courtesy visit to Biaka University this Thursday, June 26, 2025. The visit aimed at strengthening the existing bilateral ties between the Nigerian community and the university. Ambassador Kuka has commended the institution's standard after touring the state-of-the-art medical laboratories. Hilarion Tokov was there and now tells us more.
Ambassador Obasanjo Kuka, newly appointed Nigerian Consul General for the Northwest and Southwest region, is at Biaka University this Thursday, June 26, 2025, to strengthen the bilateral ties that exist between the Nigerian community and Biaka University. The exchange between the university's administrators and that of the delegation from the consul centered on how beneficial the cordiality has been for both parties.
Biaka Institute has been good collaborators with the Consul General of Nigeria, and it's proper for us to come and pay this visit to Biaka to appreciate them and to show them that we appreciate their collaboration. That's basically why we are here.
His Excellency Koka was opportune to visit the different medical laboratories within the prestigious institution known for its academic excellence in the health sector. From all the labs they visited, one point was unavoidable, congratulating Biaka University on its standard.
I've always been a beneficiary of Biaka's equipment and everything, because my family and I come here for consultation. But my visit here has really exposed me to the level and the high quality equipment that Biaka has. So that's a good impression on me, and I applaud Madam and the team for the good work they are doing.
30 is the number of Nigerians schooling in Biaka University. As such, the Vice Chancellor, Dr. Francisca Biaka, foreshadows better days.
Like what the Consul General has just said, we have had this long-standing relationship with the Nigerian consulate, and we also have Nigerian students. And when they come, if there's any problem, like immigration problem, we go knocking on their doors, and they are ready to assist us in every way. The students who are here, or the past students, can attest to that. We treat them, yes, just like you treat Cameroonians, and so they have nothing to fear. The security is here, and we are just happy, that we can have students from Nigeria and who go back, who excel.
Apart from having students, Biaka Institute has been collaborating with Nigerian Consulate over a long period of time, and we truly appreciate that. We appreciate their magnanimity and their benevolence. And about collaboration with Nigeria, in the hall earlier, we have been informed that Biaka is extending their tentacles to Nigeria. They already have students from Nigeria, 30 thereabouts, which shows the close collaboration between Nigeria and Biaka.
After a fruitful deliberations with the officials of Biaka University, Ambassador Obasanjo Koka and his delegation departed from the university with enthusiastic smiles for a brighter future. Their cordiality with Biaka University will produce.
Onto this other education-related news, BEM School of Management Douala has unveiled its academic specialities to the population of Buea. This during a recent briefing with parents and prospective students, highlighting its status as an internationally organized institution having partnerships with foreign universities. With the authorization from Cameroon's Ministry of Higher Education, BEM emphasized its unique distinction among top African educational institutions. Hilarion took off once more with details.
At this sitting with parents and prospective students, BEM School of Management Douala, Wednesday, June 26, 2025, classified the gathering as an informative session aimed at educating the audience about their institution, which is an internationally recognized university with partnership with foreign universities.
BEM is the Bordeaux Business School, and 18 years of impactful insight today and transformative evidences in the academic arena. BEM has facilitated the integration of countless numbers of students, more than 2,000, all over the world in the business job market. We have testimonies of students that today are consultants in the World Bank who had the privilege to pass through BEM. And so we have partners that are equally testifying of the quality of education we are having, because BEM is not just quality of program, is also the quality of the professorial corps.
With over 18 years of existence and full authorization from the Cameroon's Ministry of Higher Education, the officials during the session emphasized that BEM School of Management is uniquely distinguished among the top higher educational institutions across Africa.
The quality of the programs we are offering, which are internationally oriented, in that we give the privilege to have access to the most prestigious university in the world, and BEM facilitate both their admissions in these universities as well as the processing of their visa requirements. So once at BEM, you are a student abroad while at home. So that is the uniqueness of the programs we are offering.
As part of its initiative to establish a branch in the English-speaking regions, BEM is committed to enhancing the developmental mindset of Cameroonians through its academic offerings. This initiative is made possible by its foreign partner universities, which allow students to benefit from the academic programs of international universities, either by studying with BEM in Douala or with any other foreign partner university.
The academic package of BEM is a very high-level package that we offer to our students in all the management-related specialties, be it in corporate finance, in international management, or international technology programs. BEM has opened doors with all these universities that we have cited during this conference, be it Seneca Polytech or the San Diego State University. Students have the opportunity to study exactly what is studied in this university, because one of our preoccupations has been to see the level of development that is carried out abroad and see how our own African learners can benefit of this expertise, of the knowledge that these people have, as well as the mindset, so that our continent can equally be transformed.
Responding to questions from the audience during the briefing, officials from BEM School of Management highlighted the various specializations available to students across different fields of studies.
Human resource, banking and finance, communication. We are even partnering with the best communication school in France. We have marketing, we have supply chain management, the logistics aspect, and international technology program like cyber security, data management, data mining, and information management, everything that you have to do with computer sciences.
Additionally, the authenticity of the certificate awarded by BEM School of Management as an international university hosting foreign universities was reaffirmed. The participants of the briefing took their stand with the institution as they committed to serving as ambassadors of BEM School of Management.
To this feature now, where business persons in Boya say the coming of the new coins has in a way solved the problem of cash scarcity in the country. However, customers are yet to understand the different coins introduced, as most people often mistake one coin for the other due to their resemblance. They equally made some proposals to the Bank of Central African States, as we hear with you, Aloysius Leke.
The Bank of Central African States, BAC, on April 2nd, 2025, officially put into circulation a new range of coins across all member countries of the Central African Economic and Monetary Community, CEMAC. The newly introduced coins include denominations of 500 francs CFA, 200 francs, 100, 15, 25, 10, 5, 2, and 1 franc CFA respectively. As time passes and the coins circulating in the society, the population have been appreciating its introduction as well as facing some challenges using the new coins, with some complaining about the resemblance and limited in number.
The challenges that I have as an individual, I don't know about others out there, with the new currency or the new coins that we have around, the 25 has the same resemblance with the 50 francs. That's to say that if you're not vigilant enough to check what the passengers give you, you won't be able to identify if it is 100 francs in 50 coins, or it is 75 in the name of 100. And then the 200 francs is an issue because some people are yet to get to know that 200 francs is existing. So most of the times when people get into the car and they give you 500 francs that they have 300, when you give them that single coin, some intend to insult the driver, shout at you, belittle you in the public, before maybe the driver now educating the passenger or the person in question to check what he or she has in the hand before the person confirms that it is 200 francs. Actually, the 500 coin has there's a lot of resemblance between the 200 and the 500, which in some cases a passenger can mistakenly give you as 200 francs. Likewise, a driver can mistakenly give it to a passenger as 200.
Concerning the new coins that are out, I know they actually came to help with this issue of coins we have been having, but though I recently just saw the coins, the only issue is it is not yet, should I say, available everywhere, because I just recently saw it. And then now with the 200 that is in a coin inside, taking a taxi at times, like from Bupango here, you want to go down to Kingston, to tell a taxi driver that you have 100 francs inside 200 is kind of scary. Me myself, I used to be scared. So I think that is the only challenge I have for the coins. Yeah.
The new coins them actually they fine because they make say coins away with the be scarce, at least made the coins and did. But the other challenge we get for the coins is I say that 25 we did the same size with 50, so it worry we. Some person that take 4 of that 25 and they give you like 200. If you no look and find, you will take and send at 200. Meanwhile, at 100.
Good, yes, new design, everything is good. But the problem I encountered was that I entered a taxi. I told the taxi driver I have 100 inside 200. He said that no, he's supposed to take all the 200. That he cannot like take 100 from 200. That he will not give the change. So that's the problem that I encountered. But apart from that, everything is okay.
These Buea residents, however, have these proposals to the Bank of Central African States as concerns the new coins.
There should be a difference for us to be able to identify quickly, most especially the 50, the 25. If they could bring that gold color from either the 500 or the 200 to the 25, maybe design in the middle or somehow like it is designed with the 200 and the 500, so we'll be able to identify when somebody gives you, you know that this is 25 immediately without even checking. It will be very good.
The 25 and the 50, it did the same, so people that are confused. If you take 50, if you take 25, it's in a 50. Then the problem too for 500. If you're not careful, if you take as in a, because you get color for 25.
With the various concerns raised about the new coins, it's evident that though the coins are in circulation, it is still limited in supply and some adjustments need to be done, and fast too, so as to avoid the many confusions faced and enable the citizens use the new coins with ease.
Now in news out of Cameroon, the death toll of persons who have died from Kenya's nationwide anti-government protest on Wednesday, 25 June has risen to 16. Kenyans are protesting against a controversial tax bill that has been withdrawn by President William Ruto. However, citizens remain angry over the use of excessive force by security forces. Plus, Iran has insisted it will not give up its nuclear program after U.S. President Donald Trump said that U.S. strikes had destroyed Iran's nuclear program. This after the U.S. brokered the ceasefire between Iran and Israel on Tuesday. Details on these foreign stories, among others, in the next report.
The United Nations humanitarian chief
Tom Fletcher visited displaced families in Shasha village in Congo's North Kivu province on Tuesday. The visit follows the M23 rebel group seizure of Goma, the provincial capital, in late January, intensifying decades-long conflict that has displaced more than 4.6 million people. In the aftermath, rebels shut down displacement camps in the city, forcing families to return to the villages they had fled.
We didn't want to go back. It was M23 who forced us to return because we knew we had a government. When they arrived, they asked us to go home because the war was over. They said that those who did not obey would be considered enemies. Before, we lived a good life because we lived without the war. But everything we owned was over because of the war. Today, we live on aid. And without it, we can't live.
Aid groups say the forced returns have worsened already dire conditions. Many had relied on support from the U.S. Agency for International Development before the Trump administration cancelled its programs. In Shasha, many returnees found their homes looted or destroyed with little to no assistance waiting for them. Elsewhere, the death toll from Wednesday's nationwide anti-government protest in Kenya has risen to 16, with most of the dead reportedly killed by police, says rights group Amnesty International. Hundreds of people were also wounded, with local media and eyewitness saying that security forces fired tear gas and water cannons to disperse crowds in the capital, Nairobi. In a joint statement, Kenya Medical Association, Law Society of Kenya, and the Police Reforms Working Group said that of those injured, several had suffered gunshot wounds. For the record, thousands of people had taken to the streets in cities across the country to mark last year's demonstrations in which more than 60 people died. They were protesting against a controversial tax bill. However, President William Ruto later withdrew the proposed tax hike, but people are still angry over the use of excessive force by the security forces. There were more demonstrations earlier this month over the death of a blogger in police custody. In the United States, President Donald Trump said on Wednesday that American and Iranian officials will talk next week as a fragile ceasefire between Iran and Israel appears to be holding. Trump told reporters at NATO summit that he was not interested in opening negotiations on Iran's nuclear ambitions. The U.S. president helped broker the ceasefire that took effect on Tuesday.
Look, we're going to talk to them next week with Iran. We may sign an agreement. I don't know. To me, I don't think it's that necessary. I mean, they had a war, they fought, now they're going back to their world. I don't care if I have an agreement or not.
Trump insists that U.S. strikes had destroyed Iran's nuclear program, saying it had been blown up to kingdom come. The American leader did not acknowledge a U.S. intelligence report that said the program had only been delayed by a few months.
The only thing we'd be asking for is what we were asking for before about we want no nuclear, but we destroyed the nuclear. In other words, that's destroyed. I said, Iran will not have nuclear. Well, we blew it up. It's blown up to kingdom come, and so I don't feel very strongly about it. If we got a document, wouldn't be bad. We're going to meet with them, actually. We're going to meet with them.
Iran has insisted it will not give up its nuclear program. The country's parliament approved a bill on Wednesday to suspend cooperation with the United Nations nuclear watchdog. It is on that foreign note we wrap up this edition of Divine Mercy Prime. A reminder of our top stories before we take leave of you. 13 couples from the Christian Family Movement Futru Deanery have been drilled on trauma healing during a one-day seminar organized by psychoclinical technicians of the Archdiocese of Bamenda. Also, it is in this newscast you heard that Biaka University receives newly appointed Nigerian Consul General for the 2 English-speaking regions in Cameroon. Ambassador Obasanjo Kuka commends the institution's standards after a tour of its world-class medical laboratories. Thank you very much for viewing today. I have been Sama Eileen for a presentation this Thursday, June 26. So keep it locked down on Divine Mercy Radio Television, and be reminded that Mountain Echoes is up next. Magdalene Wundo step in at 7:30 a.m. for the morning news, and I'll be back at exactly 7 p.m. for Divine Mercy Prime. Good night.